Okay, traders, here we go. VTP Stage 2 online, technical Tuesday coaching call 187 for the 31st of March 2026. I hope you're all well. Hope you're enjoying a good week. Hope you are keeping a close eye on markets because, as always, there's plenty going on. As always, you're very welcome here. Just remember, you are responsible for your own trading decisions. And for those of you who have done stage 2 and want to go on to stage 3, the last day of the special offer is today. Okay, it reverts to normal price tomorrow. So you can ping me, or you can see that QR code or the Bitly if you're intrigued. Okay, let's have a look at futures now. And what I've done here is there are still quite a few in the STAM environments there. Okay, so what is interesting is nat gas is STAM 1S. Okay, palladium, platinum, they are in tactical. All right, tactical shorts, which kind of does sort of intrigue me. If we look at yesterday, okay, so this is yesterday's numbers, and what we saw is VIX coming down. Remember, VIX was above 30 yesterday, and it's dropped its way off there. Interestingly, silver, okay, has had a bit of a bump. Silver, there is business and industry needs for. So if there is a relief rally, that benefits silver. Okay, and that's what I'll be looking at there. What I've also done here on the heat map is that I have for this in the next few slides, because we are here, final day of the first quarter of the year. I know it's been a pretty long quarter. It's only been 3 months, but it feels like 3 years. I've looked at it. I've put this on the heat map for the last 3 months. And interestingly, what we can see is the equity indexes. All right, they have all sort of had a miserable first quarter. Not unsurprisingly, energy has had these huge numbers. Look at that: crude oil up 85%, crude oil Brent up 98%, heating oil up 180%, gasoline up 70% on the quarter. Okay, that's been a pretty full on. But also equally interestingly, food. All right, okay, the agris, okay, soft grains. Coffee and cocoa have struggled. Cocoa in particular. Not entirely sure why. If you look at the price of bloody chocolate as you run up to Easter, but anyway, there's not the disconnect there. Interestingly, palladium, all right, is down over the quarter as well. Gold and silver are still up over the quarter, but nowhere near as much as anybody else. Bitcoin down 25% in the first quarter of the year. You've got to take that into account, haven't you? You've got to keep an eye on that and stuff, and see what this is all telling us. Yeah, our own heat map shows that lots going on there. Okay, in terms of tactical and strategic shorts. And remember what I was saying, I know I've said this a few times, is that here back in sort of end of January it was all green, and I was saying it just basically doing the opposite of when they say it's always the darkest before the dawn, which is what you might be saying now when it's all red. Back here I was saying it's always the greenest, it's always the most giddiest before the tumble or before the fall over, and that's what's felt out, and that's why we do this, to get that heat map, to do it, to give you the situational awareness about what's going on, so you can start to make sense of all the madness that's going on in the world. And by God, there's been some madness. All right, so there's kind of it's an interesting sort of our own heat map on that, and stuff is giving us some kind of insight into what the scores and the doors are there. I think that's really quite telling.